Alright, so this actually works fine, which is nice. I like making things simpler. It makes me happy. So what I did was, after I got fed up using OBS Studio to record my videos, I tried FFmpeg to screen capture. OBS is like, it feels way too bloated, and it just doesn't, it's finicky sometimes. With my webcam especially. I don't know why it's different with this webcam, but I can play it, I can stream it directly with the ffplay command, and it looks fine. But when I go to use it through OBS Studio, it lags behind. And sometimes it's just not accessible at all. It makes me frustrated. So instead of that, I'm using FFmpeg to screen capture. So what you're looking at now is my screen. You could see up here I have my room temperature and humidity. I have my RAM usage, brightness of my screen, sound, and the date and time. And on my other screen, I'll bring this over. You can see I ran a command in my terminal and it's streaming this monitor, which is cool, which I like a lot. Thanks, ChatGPT. It helped me make this command. And a Stack Overflow post also helped me make this command. I just stole code from ChatGPT and Stack Overflow, and this is what I have now, which is nice. And it just works. My audio isn't lagging significantly behind my video, and it's really easy to set up. If I want to change the configuration, I just go into the source code and I change it there, and whenever I run it, it runs, and it's fine, and it's cool. The only downside is that I need to open up a terminal in order to run this, which isn't a big deal. I don't really hate that, actually. I want to take this. We're gonna put you over here. This is only with my my mouse. No, I'm not using my mouse. I'm using my keyboard. That's what I meant to say. So, scripts. I just made this one called record. Oh, what do you want? You want updates. You want updates. You will get updates. Okay. So this is my screen. If I want to screen record the other screen, I just take this off and I comment this out. So that's cool. Resolution, here it's from Screen Info. Screen Info is pulling xrandr, and xrandr is a command. If you just ran xrandr, you get all the screens that are attached to your XDisplay server, right? Easy. So I have something connected to my display port on my GPU, and I have something connected to my HDMI port on my GPU. Whoop. And so it says use that command. It'll list all of the screens, displays, and then it'll grep for screen. And screen in this case is HDMI A0. So the screen that's plugged into my HDMI thing. And then awk print 3. I don't know what that does. Let's yank in brackets and we'll paste into the terminal. And we'll run that. Okay. So 143.97. It's this up here. It's getting the third words, I think. Is it? It's weird. I don't know exactly. What does awk do? Print 3. Man, awk. Print. I don't know. We'll ask ChatGPT maybe. What does the awk print 3 statement do? Third field. I see. I was right, the third word. Cool. Nice. That's so cool. I could use my mouse if I want. Drag this around. Boom. I don't like that wallpaper. Give me another. 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 We saw that one already. A few. Man, I'm picky. Oh, I like this one. Oh no, my... Why are we freezing? Why are we freezing? Oh. Why do you do that? Kill camera. And what's nice about this is I can just kill the camera and restart it, and it's fine. That's cool. Maybe it overheats. That could be a problem. That could be an issue. See that behind me? That's my home server. I should actually... I unplugged the second external drive because the Raspberry Pi, the poor little Raspberry Pi, it's not good enough to handle it. It's not powerful enough. It doesn't supply enough power to handle 2 of the external drives. I want to, yeah, so SDA, sudo mount slash dev slash SDA1 2 slash mount slash media. So that should, I have a cron tab thing on reboot. It does that. Can I? Yeah, I can. So it does what I just did. And now when I go to Firefox, I have a shortcut for Firefox. I don't need to type it in. I can just go to this, and this is my page, and this is my temperature. This is my humidity. You can see up here that those values match these values because they are being pulled from the same place, and that place is curl 10.0.0.2440 slash data.php, and this is the data. If I go to data.php, this updates every second, I believe. So yeah, I have that. I also have media here. This is my media on my hard drive, but I also have it set up on a media server, so I have movies here that I can watch. You know how it be. And it's USB 3.0. The Raspberry Pi 4B has a USB, two USB 3.0 ports, which is solid as hell. That's freaking cool. It's really nice, yeah. Yeah. Looks like we're 12 minutes in. 12 minutes, 30 seconds. Do I have anything else to show you? I do have, let's see if this works. Webcam, CTL. Brightness. I can change brightness. I can change zoom. Doesn't work for some reason here. I don't know why exactly. I got pan and tilt. Those don't work either. They work on Zoom. I don't know why they don't work here. But it's not that big a deal. Yeah. These things look complicated, but they're not really complicated. Compared to softwares that do these things for you, themselves are super complicated. I just got errors. I think it froze my webcam for a second. Yeah, I was saying that the softwares that try to simplify this process for the user of starting up the webcam and controlling it and making it cohesive and a good user experience, those softwares are really complicated. They're way more complicated than they need to be. And by doing so, you introduce a lot of bloat and a lot of resource usage on your system. And also in doing so, you introduce the possibility of getting problems that are harder to solve than if you were to just do it more manually. With this manual system, things work. Things follow the Unix philosophy better, and by that I mean this webcam is its own separate application running on my screen. If I want the top bar gone, I just do that, and you don't need to see the top bar anymore. But I kind of like having the top bar. This is its own separate thing. And then the screen recording, the screen capture, it's a different program. And it's a really simple program. The one that I didn't write, ChatGPT and Stack Overflow wrote, but it's one that I am using. And it's fairly straightforward. And so, instead of having it be one big cohesive system that does everything for you, this approach allows for more robustness, robustity. Yeah. Because if I wanted to use another camera, I could. I could use my big camera and plug it in and use it as a webcam. I guess you can do the same thing in OBS. That's not really a talking point that is worth making. It's not necessarily better if OBS Studio or some other screen recording software just works and you have no problems with it, then by all means use it. I do have problems with OBS though, and I don't know how to solve them. But if I get a problem with this, I know I can figure it out. That's the beauty of it. I like that it facilitates problem solving. Not every system does. The fact that I'm in Linux as well, it means I'm required to solve problems and fix my system when it breaks. Breaking doesn't happen all that often, honestly. The last thing that broke was my Rocket League, which isn't very important. But I went on to play Rocket League earlier today, and it was like, oh, Wine isn't working. Wine doesn't want to work for this specific game now. So I was like, oh, gosh, that sucks. But I opened up the Heroic Games launcher, and I changed the translation layer from Wine into Proton, and I didn't think it would work, but Proton worked great. Like, it worked flawlessly. I wasn't expecting that. I think it works even better than Wine. Because why use Wine as the default option if Proton works great? It's weird. Because most games run using Proton as a translation layer to run Windows software on Linux firmware. That's what Steam does with the Steam Deck. The Steam Decks, I think they run Arch Linux, like what I'm running here. And so a lot of work has been done into developing softwares that allow Windows games to run on Linux firmware. And that's really cool. And I get to benefit from it. Thank you, Steam. Thank you. When I first switched to Linux, it wasn't a deal breaker because I still switched, but it was a concern that I had that I wouldn't be able to play games. But as I stopped playing video games, I kind of realized that it doesn't really matter if I can play games or not. But now that I've switched, it's like games they're not even an issue to run. Yeah, they're not even an issue to run. It works flawlessly. Almost. Once you get it set up and working, it works without trouble. And all of the games that I want to play are available on here, so there's really no reason for me to boot into Windows except for very specific things, like when I need to use Windows specific software for school. That pains me. I really don't like doing that. Or if I need to test a feature that's specific on Windows, like I was setting up my server, my Raspberry Pi server, and my mom uses Windows. So I needed to test out mapping a network drive on Windows to get into there. And I actually, instead of, I booted up Windows to begin with, because I do have an SSD that's running in there. That's in my computer that runs Windows. But the last time I did that, I just got a Windows 11 virtual machine, and that worked fine to test it out. And so I'll probably be doing that now, from now on. I'll also probably be using that for Windows specific software. If I can be in a Linux environment and have a Windows virtual machine running on my second monitor, that would be ideal, honestly. So I don't have to like take all the time of booting into another operating system. And at least it's like contained more. It feels like it's safer to use Windows when it's in a virtual machine. Because I've had Windows ruin my Linux before. It kept setting back my time configuration. I don't know exactly what it was doing, but I needed to like go into the registry editor or like PowerShell and paste in a command to stop Windows from overriding my Linux hardware clock configuration thing. Don't ask me what that means, because I don't know what it means. I just looked it up on the forums, and they are like, hey, do this, and it'll solve the problem that you're having. And it did. So, screw you, Windows. Screw you, Windows. Another thing that bugs me about Windows is my mom has a 256 gigabyte solid state drive. It's an M.2, I believe. And so she has a lot of files. She has backups for her files. And when she switched to Windows 11, they're like, oh, you have a lot of data on your stuff. You should back that up to the cloud. She was already using the cloud, but what it did was it took everything off of her computer and put it on the cloud. So she has nothing on her computer now. No documents, no pictures, nothing. It's all stored on the cloud. And so not only are retrieval times like significantly slower, but it's like if the servers go down, you're screwed. You don't want to be like relying on a huge organization like that. Especially since like, I don't know, they're not making the best business decisions. It seems like they're putting AI into everything. It seems like they're looking through the sofa for quarters, and they're just grabbing at whatever straws they can to keep themselves afloat. Maybe that's not the case, but it's just gross how they're treating their customers now. Nobody wants AI. People only want AI if they're like seeking it out. You know, I use AI. I use AI a lot, but I don't want it inside my applications. I'd rather just have a website where I could go to type in a question if I need. I don't need it actively looking at everything I do all the time and taking pictures of my screen. Are you serious? You serious, Windows? Are you kidding me? You want to take pictures of my screen every like 10 seconds and store that on my drive locally. Sure. And then you want to use AI to analyze all of that information. So when I have a question about something I did 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh, what paper was I working on 2 weeks ago? What paper was I working on 2 months ago? And AI is like, oh, I saw you working on this. Are you serious? No, I don't want that in my machine. I don't want somebody looking at, or something looking at everything I'm doing all of the time. That's ridiculous. That's an invasion of privacy. What made you come up with that idea? And not even that. You have the audacity to make it a dependency of the File Explorer in Windows. Are you kidding me? If you remove Microsoft Recall, it breaks the File Explorer. That's not right. That's not correct. Why are you... I really like this cup. I got this at the thrift store, and I think it's stainless steel, and it's like lightweight. It's nice. I I had been looking for a cup I had been looking for a cup like this specifically for as long as I had been working at the thrift store, even longer actually. But I've been holding out to get the perfect cup, and this is the perfect cup. I am happy with it. There's something about having a nice stainless steel cup. I don't know what it is. But yeah. Freaking stupid. It's so dumb. Microsoft is so, like, Windows, I just get a bad taste in my mouth whenever I say those words. I'm so glad I switched to Linux. I would never go back at this point. I would never go back to, like, even another operating system such as Mac. Mac isn't as bad as Windows. I have to say, I hate to say it, but Mac isn't as bad as Windows. Because they lock down their stuff better. It seems like they have better security. But still. Like, if you're gonna take away all my rights and freedoms here in the operating system world, at least give me some benefits. Mac, they have a really cohesive, user-friendly system, so they're good for the average consumer, right? They have a lot of good things going for them, but Microsoft, they just keep it getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. There's no reason to be using Windows now, except for the compatibility. That's the one good thing. Like, everything just, it functions out of the box. And a lot of people build applications for the Windows platform. This video is now 27 minutes and 39 seconds. I'm going to the gym tomorrow. I get to lift weights. That's cool. I'm looking forward to getting a good start to the morning and hopefully getting most of my assignment done. Because once I have a good morning, I'll be able to carry that out into the rest of the day. And I'm just tired. I'm tired today. I've been out of it today. I don't want to think about stuff right now. I don't want to think about work. Work stresses me out, and I should ask the group chat for my group project if we have handed in the proposal. I should do that soon. Probably tomorrow. If it's not done, I'll get it done, because we don't have much to do. Anyway. Anywho. I enjoy when things are simple and not complicated and predictable. Predictability is a big thing. I like putting my trust into things, but I have a hard time doing so. It's hard to trust people when they're constantly changing their mind, or they're not punctual. They don't keep to their word. If somebody's like that, I pretty much just think, screw you. I'm not gonna stake anything into a friendship with you because I can't really hold you accountable for anything. Because you're slippery like a freaking eel. Like a freaking banana on the floor. You are my banana on the floor if you are not punctual. You're going to make me trip. And you make me look bad, too. Because I want to be punctual. I want to be on time and respectful of other people, you know? And to have somebody actively go against that, it's rude. And it makes you look bad. It's embarrassing. You don't want to have a friend that you fight on being on time with. If we're going to go to an event, and a thing, and you show up early. This is something that was talked about in a Van Neistat video. If you have a wife who is always late, and you want to be on time, and you're both going to the same event together, you're supposed to go together. If she is habitually late, then you should go anyway. You should say you're going to go at this specific time, and if she's not ready, you go anyway, and you leave her at the house or whatever to finish getting ready. And you'll be on time, and you won't look bad. And if that comes up in therapy, the therapist should take your side. Because she is making you look bad. And it is just disrespectful. Does that make sense? There are two personality types. My mom talked about this recently. She said that there are like type A personalities and type B personalities, and her and I are both type A personalities, where we want to be on time and respectful for people. That's like no questions asked. You need something done, I'll get it done. You have my word. Or if I can't do it, I'm not going to say yes. And then there's the type B personality, who's like, oh, I guess I could probably do that. You know, maybe I'll do it like within the next few days. I promise you, it'll be done within the next few days. And then it's not done in the next few days because they didn't give you a concrete time or place or whatever when it was supposed to be done. And not giving those concrete constraints into what you agree upon, they allow themselves to let it go, to let it slide. And that's not cool. My brother is a type B personality. He's like, hey, can I borrow $50? Like, I'll pay you back. I just need a $50 bill for this thing. I was like, yeah, sure. I want it back in a $50 bill, though. I don't want smaller bills. He says, okay, I can do that. So after he goes and, uses the $50 for whatever, I forget. He comes back and he says, oh, I went to the ATM, but they didn't have $50 bills, so I couldn't get you your $50 bill today. And I said, okay, when will I have it then? And he said, you'll have it soon. It's been a week. I haven't gotten my money. Like, I'm not that mad about it. Like, it's just $50, but it's disappointing. You purposely give yourself really lax constraints on your word, so technically you're not lying, but you're still being a disappointment. You're still not following through with your word. Because soon can mean anything. But I think soon has already passed, whatever that is. You can't say soon and be a week late. That's not soon. Oh, it just makes me angry. Makes me frustrated. So I don't hang around people like that. I don't. The people that I do hang around, well, Greg's not like that. Connor, it's hard to plan things with him, but he's a good person. And also he has a baby, so it's not really much of an issue anymore. He's probably I don't know, actually. I was gonna say he's become better as a result of having the baby, but I don't think so. He's definitely more busy all the time, so we don't hang out as much. So, not a bad thing. Definitely has more responsibility because of it, which is a good. I think that's good for him. This video is 35 minutes long. Nobody's gonna watch this whole thing, but I hope you got something out of this video. Maybe I think I'll upload this. Why not? Why not? Right? Okay. Goodbye.